Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Session 6 of Channel Divinity. Thank you all so much for joining us this evening. Not a whole lot of pre-stream announcements, but we have had 2 birthdays in the party that we didn't shout out last time. Both Zoe and Sean have had birthdays in the last month, so just big happy birthday to these 2. We all love you so much. And with that, I think you'll notice we are a Kyra short today. She will be joining us eventually. She's currently fighting through some good traffic and will be here as soon as she can. But with that, Sean, I'm going to toss it on over to you for a session recap. Oh, Sean, your sound is not coming through.
I'm still muted. That's crazy. Hi. Hello. As I was saying, friends, Exandrians, country people, lend me your ears. This is Sirius of the House Graywind, and last time you saw us, our troop with a name that has not been established, who knows what it may be, we decided after a defeat of the dastardly Dirk Danemark that we needed to figure out more. We needed to delve deeper. And so we interrogated him and his nefarious associate, a gnome named Lily, and found out that they're getting their drugs from a group called the Masked Night Stalkers, led by Merrick, whoever that is. We then ran Dark's pockets, received quite a bit of gold and a little bit of residual, and then from there we definitely went ahead and left Antes. There may have been a bit of an altercation between 2 members of the party, but fortunately it seems like all of that is resolved. No need to fret. And we then left the Turst Fields to accost this ne'er-do-well, but on our way there, after a few conversations within the party, we seem to have come across a giant bear and a few monsters that are with them. Here we go.
Here we go, indeed. Having rolled initiative at the very end of last stream, we are coming to the top of the order with Wellen. You're up. Wellen, roll. You're asleep right now. Wellen, go ahead and make a perception check for me, please.
Oh, God. I didn't realize I was top of the order. Perception check, you said?
Yes, sir.
Wait, why is Lance not in the initiative order?
Oh, that's a good question. Cinque, go ahead and roll. I added Lance in. I don't know why you went away, but go ahead and roll your initiative there.
I'm pretty sure that's what you rolled last time anyway. So.
I think so, yeah.
Okay, so then we're going to hold that roll, but actually Lance is at the top of the order.
Okay.
So Lance, you are here kind of at your watch as this big brown bear and these 2 hyena-faced maybe 8 or 9 feet tall creatures with these big hunches in their back, kind of the dripping fangs sort of burst through, one wielding a crude longbow, the other having a shield and spear, and they seem intent on breakfast.
Breakfast. Lance is going to... Let's see. I think Lance is going to run up and stand next to Liz, and he's going to hold his sword, but look kind of confused. He's gonna be like, I think, as the bear like bursts out of the trees and continues running, and he sees them. He's like, "Are they chasing the bear?"
Make a perception check, Lance.
Let's go. Perception. Oh, I guess I'm kind of good at that, but not really.
So with a 14, you can see this bear is on like some sort of crudely fashioned like leash and harness type situation. And with that, with as high as a 14, I'll say go ahead and also make an animal handling check for me.
How that's gone before. It's a 5.
That's a big scary bear that they have on a leash.
Okay, Lance is like, I must protect my friends. And gonna step forward and hold his action until one of the 3 gets close to attack.
All
one of the
right.
3 enemies. Yeah.
Sounds good. Wellen, with a 5, you kind of hear just a little bit of a noise from Liz that sort of penetrates through your dreams, but it's not quite enough to wake you up yet. You are unfortunately still asleep.
Oh no.
Oh,
Liz.
No.
You're up.
Okay. Seeing Lance's kind of defensive stance, I think Liz kind of was just gonna call out and be like, "Well, good morning, y'all. How's things?" Okay. I don't know how to take that. She's gonna kind of look at Lance and be like, "Should we?"
Lance is just going to be waiting. And he doesn't have his sword drawn, but he's waiting.
So can Liz like see if they're like aggressive towards the people or if they are just trying to get
So I think without an insight check, you can see they're coming for you guys for breakfast.
Okay, cool. Then yeah, Liz is gonna once again be like, "All right, it's time to get up, y'all." And then she will,
But I'll say before you make your turn, you can use an action to go shake somebody and wake them up as well.
Shoot.
If that affects your choices at all.
How? So it would be my action to wake them up.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I will do that. Since Wellen and Calesta are in the same tent, we'll be able to get both of them?
Calesta's a pretty heavy sleeper.
Okay.
You could probably get Wellen though.
Okay, but I couldn't get Wellen and Sirius.
No, they're in different tents.
Okay. Then yeah, I guess I will go and just sort of grab Wellen by the shoulder and kind of shake him a lot and be like, hey buddy, we have company. I don't think that they're very nice. And then she will sprint the rest of her movement over here. And I don't think that there's much that I can do with a bonus action. So yeah.
Okay. I will also note the only people who are currently wearing their armor are Liz and Lance. So Wellen and Sirius, your AC is going to be 10 plus your dexterity modifier.
Lance is
Unless
not
you
wearing
don't
armor.
want to be wearing his armor, Cinque, that's fine too. Then your AC is 10 plus dex.
Yeah,
Wellen's
I've
armor is
already.
just his clothes, and he just kind of puts his
I
clothes
believe
on.
he has. I believe Wellen has leather armor.
Oh, I do have like a breastplate. Yeah.
Bold of y'all
We don't-
to assume that Sirius has been wearing armor.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah.
I know Wellen in his inventory is equipped
That's
with.
true.
Leather
That's
armor.
true. I thought my
And-
clothes. That was just my shawl was the leather, but
Unfortunately, you
I
have
suppose
some armor
not.
on. All right, so that brings us to Calesta, who is snoozing away in her tent, oblivious to the world. Which now brings us to this Null Hunter on the left, who's going to pull out this sort of thick branch of a longbow and is going to point it towards Liz, who seems to be running up and attacking. That is going to be... Does a 15 hit your AC, Liz?
Yep.
Cool. So you take 3 points of damage as this armor sort of pierces you, just the bare end of it hitting you in the shoulder.
Wait, actually, is my armor class right? It says 14, but if I'm wearing my leather armor, that's an 11 AC, and my dex is +3, which is 14.
14.
So yes. Yes, okay, I take 3 points of damage.
Great. And
Ouchie.
then he is going to shift over kind of back here and duck behind one of these trees for some cover. Sirius, make a perception check.
Okay. Da, ba, da, ba, da, da, ba, da, 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 ba, da.
A 15, Sirius. Piercing through the veil of sleep, you hear sort of these growling noises, and you kind of hear a little bit of Liz sort of yelling at Wellen, "Get up, we have company."
Okay.
So I'll say you are no longer unconscious, but you are prone sleeping.
Okay. I will spend half of my movement to get up and out of the tent, and like rub the sleep from my eyes and see that we have all of the company in the world.
I could make it more if you want more.
You're so very sweet. But I'm okay. And I am going to I'm gonna cast Bane.
Ooh.
Let me make sure that are any of them
Good cast,
within
good cast.
range? Well, let me first do some maths. So unfortunately, only the bear is within range. So I'm gonna move first before I cast anything. Let me make sure I got my number. Okay, so I just have to move 10 feet. That's cool. 5, 10, which is great because I only have 15 feet left.
It's true.
So that's 30. That's 25. Awesome. So I'm gonna cast Bane and choose all 3 of our enemies.
Okay.
I would like for them to all make that good old-fashioned charisma saving.
I'd like to tell you, 2 gnolls and a bear, not the most charismatic guys y'all have ever seen.
Shocking.
I know that's really surprising to you.
This is what I
2
like to
12s
see. Oh, and
and a
nat
natural 20.
Okay.
Yes.
So for 2 of them,
Oh, no.
before they attack or before there's any sort of saving throw, they do have to roll a d4 and subtract that number from it.
Okay. I don't have my 5e conditions on, so just don't let me forget to do that.
Yeah.
So that's going to be the longbow, the bear, this guy with the spear saved.
Okay, so guy with the spear is the guy behind the bear?
Yes.
Cool. I'm going to use 2 of my sorcery points to quicken spell. And
Awesome.
I'm going to... oh, wait, crap. Actually, can I not? I realized that I cast a leveled spell, and I would rather not.
That's fine.
So I will give myself back those sorcery points. My turn is done. That's all I do.
Alrighty, that brings us to the Null Hunter, who's also going to see Liz charging in and close the distance between the two of you, and is going to make an attack with its spear.
How rude.
I know. It's disrespectful, honestly. It's going to be a 19 to hit, which I believe hits.
Yes, that will hit.
All right, and Liz, you take 6 points of damage as this spear sort of slashes into your upper leg.
Ow!
Don't like that.
And next up is the brown bear. As this one with the spear sort of drops its leash, it's going to close here with Lance, which triggers your held action if you want to go ahead and make that attack, Cinque.
My boy will swing.
Go ahead and swang on him.
Yeah, go ahead. Swing your sword at the bear. I think that's a good idea.
To be fair, the bear charged. It's not his fault.
It's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll hit for sure.
Cool.
Let's go.
All right, 9 points of damage to the bear. Lance, as you're up close, make another perception or animal handling, your choice.
Oh, come on. That's persuasion. Stop it.
Natural 20. So Lance, kind of getting up close to this bear, you can see it's got some like wounds in its back, and its ribs are kind of showing through, as though it's maybe not treated super great. You imagine with a nat 20 with a high enough animal handling check, you might be able to get it to come and fight for you, or at least stop fighting you.
I'll have to do that on my turn, right?
That's right.
Okay, that's fine.
Which, but first, it is going to make an attack with its claws and its bite.
Cool.
So with the claws, that's going to be a 17 to hit.
Jesus
That hits.
Christ.
Alrighty, you take 8 points of damage.
Cool.
And then it's going to, as it slashes into you, sort of pull you closer and attack with its bite, which is going to be a 23.
Oh,
Lord.
all right.
Yeah.
This man's hitting people. Ow!
For 11
Oh
points.
no!
That's near max
Okay.
damage.
All right, cool.
Did the
But
bear
that is
subtract its D4 from Bane? Would the
Oh,
17
true!
still have hit?
It needs to roll 2d4s for each of those.
I feel like the
Okay.
23 can probably not be prevented, but
Yeah,
the
yeah.
17 maybe.
With the 17, we have a 50-50 shot. That's, I believe, under your AC,
14.
All
Is
right.
that hit?
No.
Then
Let's
give
go.
yourself that 8 points of damage back.
Thank you,
Oh,
Zoe.
Lord.
Oh Lord!
And now, Lance, after taking that hit, it's going to be your turn at the top of the order as this thing sort of roars its like hot, stinky breath right in your face.
Lance is going to stand there. Is it an action to roll the animal handling check?
It is.
Cool. I'm still going to try it. Lance
What are you gonna do?
Lance doesn't have a good history with animals, but he's gonna like put his sword away and like kind of like not necessarily get low to the ground, but like gonna put his hands out and be like, I'm sorry for hitting you. I know you can't understand me looking around at everybody else is like, please let's be friends.
Are you offering anything to this bear, or trying to? What are you materially doing besides just? It does not seem to comprehend the words in which you are speaking to it.
I got some rations. Can I like pull one out and like put it on the ground in front of it? And just,
perfect. Yeah, go ahead and make an animal handling check.
I did. I got a 15.
15. Lance with the 15. This bear kind of snuffles at the ground a little bit, sort of smelling your ration, and just kind of looks and kind of goes, and sort of begins to lumber, or kind of does not. We'll see how that results on its turn, but it is interested in the ration that you put down.
Cool. I can't do anything else on my turn, right?
That is your action. If you have movement or bonus action you would like to take, you can.
You said the bear had like harnesses and stuff on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Would that be another action to try to remove the harness or whatever it's on it? I probably will still wait until my next turn.
You get a free object interaction on your turn. I'd say you could probably do that with an object interaction.
I don't want it to whoop my ass. I don't know if like I don't know what the interaction would be, but I feel like it would probably like if I removed the harness. And so
yeah, it's like this kind of thick collar sort of around its neck with the clasp like at the base of it that kind of wraps over its chest and into this harness back behind it.
You said it looks interested.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of want him to try. I gotta do one of them try. Like,
yeah.
Just like walk up right next to the beer and like slowly, like while it's interested in the rations, just cut the harness off.
Cool. Yeah, you kind of cut one of the key slices of the harness and it falls off. And you see it has these little, not spikes, but like kind of studs on the inside that were like pushing into its skin.
Yeah.
You imagine was not very comfortable.
he's gonna again be like, sorry for hitting you. Like, put the sword back and like wait.
All right. Wellen, you're up. Aison, we cannot hear you.
All right, so Wellen gets up and walks and kind of like quickly darts out of the tent, I guess, to see after following Liz's words.
Oh yeah, Wellen, you are also prone. You were
that
from
sucks.
being asleep. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, I really don't have a turn now. I'm gonna get up, walk out, look around. So how does the bear seem to be responding to Cinque Lance having cut the harness off?
Make an animal handling check.
Animal handling. I'm actually decent at that. Uh-oh! I'm very decent at that.
The bear is no longer interested in fighting you guys. It's very interested in this ration.
Sick. Cool. In that case, I'm gonna see this guy jumping Liz, and I am going to. Well, has she taken damage already?
Yes.
Then in that, yeah, I'm gonna cast Healing Word because I can't get in there to her. I'm gonna go ahead and cast Healing Word, real quick. Oh my gosh, 4 points of healing to Liz, and then I guess he's probably gonna go ahead and put his armor on, because that man is in a bad way without it.
Yeah, I think putting armor on takes quite a bit of time.
Is it?
I want to say it's like multiple minutes.
That's annoying. Okay, let me move then. I'll just fix 5 steps or 2 more steps. Right?
All right.
Well, it's half my movement, but I'm not at 30. I'm at 25. How does that? I don't know how many squares I have now. That's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
I moved 10 feet.
Yes. Sorry, I'm just confirming how much time it takes to don and off armor.
It takes a minute to put on light armor, 5 minutes for medium, 10 minutes for heavy.
Cool. Thank you, Sean. I believe leather armor is light armor, so it would take 10 rounds.
That's
Cool.
super long.
All right.
Yeah, I don't have more of a turn to take though. I can throw
Liz,
my
you're up.
boomerang at him. I'll do my boomerang at him. Sorry. I'm so
Okay.
sorry. I'm
okay.
remembering how to play Wellen.
It's okay. A 16 is going to hit.
Cool. Damage, right? How do I do things in this? That's how we do things.
Yep, that's right.
That's
Nice.
some
Yeah.
good damage, my friend.
I guess it doesn't return though. That's cool. That's still I did.
It does not. It just sort of conks him on the head and just falls to the ground.
I throw it at her. It hits him. Then I'm like, hey, back off.
Okay. And next up is this guy who is going to step out of the tree line and is going to fire on.
Do I not?
Oh my god, I'm sorry. You do. My combat tracker was on Liz.
Okay. Liz is gonna very briefly look back at Wellen and be like, "Thank you, buddy. Good shot." And then she's going to pull out her dagger. And I would like to use Booming Blade.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
I make my attack with my regular weapon, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And then if it moves
Yes.
before your next turn. Cool. An 11 unfortunately is not going to hit.
Okay. Cool. That is fine. I will go ahead and pull out one of my other daggers because I have a billion of them.
You do. Liz, I think, has 8 daggers on her person right now.
So many. And I will use the other one to do my bonus action 2-weapon fighting, right?
Wonderful.
Okay. Try this again. 21 to hit.
21 will hit. So 2-weapon
right.
fighting, I believe it's just the D4 for your damage. Is that right?
You don't add the damage modifier,
Yes.
but yeah, so it's just the regular
1d4 damage.
Okay. 1d4.
But I do believe
I get
you
my
get sneak
sneak attack because of my rakish audacity.
Yerp.
that's right.
Okay.
Swashbuckling rogues, man, they're so good.
So good.
We be doing it to them.
That word should not be
Okay.
pronounced rakish. That's all I'm gonna say.
Damage normal.
Woo! Okay.
So
This guy's looking. So Liz, tell me how you get this really solid hit on this null here.
So I imagine that like the boomerang kind of like knocked it upside the head. She's gonna sort of like go around with the first dagger, and obviously she kind of like she's not expecting this weird like hyena face mess, but then she kind of like catches it on the up around and just kind of like cocks it back so that his head having been knocked from Wellen is now knocked back the other way. And then I would like to take a cue from the other Null and use my 15 feet of movement to go run into these bushes.
Okay. He is going to make an attack with his.
He shan't.
Nope. He
yeah,
shan't.
she just can't.
That's-
Yeah, Elizabeth, that rule doesn't apply to her.
That's crazy. All right. Next up is Calesta, who is snoring in her tent. But next up is our friend in the tree line, who's going to pop out and make an attack on Sirius.
That's fucked up. What did I do to you?
Minus a d4.
Minus a d4. It doesn't matter. It's gonna hit.
14 hits.
Yeah.
Okay, then Sirius, you take 5 points of damage as this arrow sort of lodges in your shoulder.
That's unfortunate. Let me go ahead and apply damage. I do need to roll
And
my concentration.
Concentration check for Bane.
Oh, that's a 10. That's
Precisely
literally
what you
it.
needed.
Let's go.
Ooh.
And then he is going to step back into the trees. Sirius, you're up.
Well, that wasn't very nice. I was having a lovely morning, sleeping, napping, and now these... Oh, God. All right, well, I guess I'm going to have to cast Scorching Ray.
I guess I'm going to have to
If I
destroy
must.
And I'm going to, because I believe in the power of my friends, I'm going to hit the archer boy with all 3 of them.
Okay. Go ahead
so
and roll
let's-
3 attacks.
Here we go. Normal.
He has half cover.
Uh-oh.
That's
Doesn't matter.
That's a natural 20.
Let's go.
Okay. Hang tight. Hang tight. I'm just confirming. Go ahead and
Modifying
roll all
his-
3 attacks.
Okay. Attack number 2. That's a 17.
So,
Oh.
Okay.
And then attack number 3.
oh no.
That's a natural 1.
The dice gods give it.
For that last one, though, I would like to use an ability called Favored by the Gods.
Huh? Uh-oh.
Pop it in the trap.
I will. So I get to roll 2d4, and I get to add it to the roll, potentially changing the outcome.
So you add it to the roll. Okay. Yeah, to the roll.
So I will go ahead and roll 2d4. That's 5. So that turns the initial roll to a 6, plus 7 is 13.
Okay. So your first 2 are going to hit. The 13 is still going to miss.
That's okay.
That's a cool
So go ahead and roll your crit damage.
Yup. So first one is a critical hit. That's 12 damage.
Oh, all right. This dude is looking roasty, toasty, and roll your
second
next.
one as normal is going to be 5 for 17.
Okay, so you all kind of watch as Sirius conjures these like deep purple and black flames from his
Just
hands.
sort of, you know, and out the ring.
One kind of goes wide and hits a tree trunk, and you guys like panic for a second, but it just sort of splinters out, and you also hear this sort of squeaking, sucking noise as this thing is charred.
I thought that was another creature. I thought he like hit at the tree and some other creature made a noise, and I was like, oh nah, for real?
And he's just going to sort of yawn and be like, oh, sorry, y'all.
He just hit a random deer or something.
It's still a little early. Now, though, I am definitely going to quicken spell. And I'm going to cast Toll the Dead on the same knoll that I just hit. That is a wisdom save, DC 15.
A wisdom
Are we-
save minus 1d4.
Are we getting
Yup.
a rest after this? Question mark.
16.
It still fucking saves. So I don't think it does any damage. So, cool.
All right. Next up is this Null Hunter here who is going to... Let's do a little roll of fate here, my friend, shall we? It's not going to go after the brown bear. Let's roll 1d4. See who this guy goes after. Okay, that is a Lance. He's going to come right here and attack Lance with his spear. It's going to be
Minus
an 18 to hit.
1d4.
Minus 1d4.
Wait, no, not that one.
this
Not
one.
that one.
Not this
Not
one,
that
you're
one.
right.
It hit the bear and the archer.
Yeah, that hits.
Alrighty, then you take 7 points of damage as the spear sort of jams right into like the meaty part of your hip. But that is going to end its turn. The brown bear is going to just continue eating this ration that Lance has set upon the ground. Fully distracted, you watch as it kind of stretches its shoulders out a bit. And that's going to bring us to Lance.
All right. Let's see. Okay. Lance is going after the dude stabs him. He's gonna be like, "How dare you! First you hurt this bear, then you hurt my friends."
He hit you.
Not you, right? Not at
Well,
all.
I mean,
Just stabbed
that
No,
was
you.
he did hit
talking
Liz,
to both of
Liz
them.
earlier.
Yeah. It's very
And so-
funny. I love
I think
Lance's
he said-
priorities.
He's gonna redraw his sword and attempt to swing on this man.
All right, go ahead and make an attack roll. A 17 is going to hit.
All right, Lance is going to swing.
That's max damage.
That is max damage. Lance, how would you like to do this?
After this man stabs him, he turns and he like slowly draws his sword and he's like, I do not appreciate you guys running up and hurting my friends. And just get as close to this man as this guy as Lance can and just kind of like stab him.
Okay. Amazing. Next up is, unless you have movement you'd like to do, Lance?
That dude's almost dead.
Yeah.
Lance is going to stay where he is because I could like pull up, but I can't do anything once I pull up. So
Okay.
You could keep him from running.
You also
I guess
can't move
that's-
through the space of this brown bear.
I
You will have
figured,
to go
yeah,
around
that's true too. Yeah, Lance is going to 15. Just stand right next to him and be like, halt.
Okay. Wellen, you're up.
Yeah. So that guy got taken care of. I'm gonna go run and pick up my boomerang. 1, 2, 3. I assume it's like somewhere over here. Where it fell off the guy. I guess I can throw it again because I don't have any other.
What's the range on it?
Let's see. 60 feet. That's
Okay.
crazy. Imagine hitting a dude from 60 feet away with a boomerang.
With a boomerang, just flop.
Yeah, like the arc and everything. I guess I'll just throw my boomerang again. Yeah. Yeah. That's a good roll.
16 is exactly what you need to hit with half cover.
Let's go.
So you watch as this boomerang sort of arcs around the tree here in a shot. Lance kind of whizzing past your head and impacting with this guy. Wellen, how would you like to do this?
Yeah, I just wanted to like kind of arc around, hit the guy, kind of take him from the side of the head, and just kind of I guess this boomerang, the image of it has spikes, but in my head, I don't think this boomerang is actually sharp. I think it's literally like a blunt, like a more like Australia boomerang, where it's like a wooded, like a cartoon boomerang.
Blunt force trauma, baby.
Yeah. So it's just gonna knock him upside the head. He'll fall over, and you'll hear Wellen from the tree, like from the tree line. Lance just be like, "Hey, Lance, can you get that for me again?"
Alrighty. And with that, we are out of combat as this sort of brown bear is just sort of snuffling into this ration. It just sort of stops and looks around.
Lance is gonna go back up to the bear and hold out another ration and like squat down next to it.
Like you feel like normally I feel like putting your hand in front of an eating hungry bear is maybe not the smartest thing to ever do,
Yeah.
but you've established some level of trust with this bear, and so you kind of feel the hot breath out of its nose as it sort of takes it out of your hand and sort of just begins to eat another ration.
He stops and he's just like, does anyone, can somebody heal this bear? And he says like as a question, it's like, if anyone would like to, you don't have to, but
Sure. I mean, you know, if that's what you want, I'll cast a healing word on the bear.
Awesome. Go ahead and roll your d4.
Normal. That's going to be 6 points of healing for the bear.
Oh, that's not damage. That would be.
We kill the bear.
Oh, we just keep on beating the bear. Oh no!
Is it sort of? You watch as some of it's this cut from Lance sort of partially heals, but it's just gonna go need to do bear things for a little bit to be fully back up to its restored health, but just kind of looks around and just sort of looks at you and kind of looks at you a little bit expectantly, Lance, for a moment.
Wait! Before you give another ration, can I cast Minor Illusion and have like the image of trailing rations leading to the forest?
Sure. Yeah.
Awesome. Just so
it is not a very smart creature. It's just gonna kind of follow him out.
I'll just keep casting it as it tries to eat him and be like, it's going that way.
And it just sort of, you watch as it sort of just lumbers off into the forest. But it is the very early morning. For those of you who are awakened and have spent resources, you will be able to get a short rest.
Okay.
But not a full long rest.
Sure.
Cool.
Can druids recover spells on short rests?
I do not believe so. The only class that gets back spells on a short rest, I believe, are warlocks.
And wizards with arcane recovery.
True.
True.
I will, however, take my short rest because I get all my features back on a short rest.
Yeah,
I get
think
nothing
some of
back.
y'all got a little hit. But yeah, if you want to spend hit dice, all of that as you are sort of resting to sort of get your health back as the early morning comes along.
Should we be worried about more of those guys around? Like, is there like a pack of them? I don't know if Wellen knows what gnolls are, but like they
Make
seem
a nature
like
check.
Nope, that's medicine. Click nature, please. Whew, not a good roll.
Yeah, you're not super sure what exactly those were, or if they travel in kind of these small packs, or if that was abnormal behavior really at all. It's foreign to you.
Well, I guess we probably should get on the road so we don't get jumped by more guys.
That's a pretty good idea.
Also, that those rays thing, that was sick. That was awesome.
Thank you.
And thank you for healing the bear.
Yeah, anytime.
Lance is going to go over to Liz and be like, "Are you okay? You handled that combat very well."
Thanks, a friend of mine's teaching me how to train.
Lance is probably not gonna know how to react, but just smile back. He's like, I think
Although
that's
maybe the next time you might want to wear your armor. I'm not a professional or anything, but I have heard that might help a little bit.
Lance just got caught lacking. That's all it was. So it's gonna be like, that's a good idea. I will make sure to stay close to my armor, and keep it on at all times.
But since we didn't get to actually do any training, can we do it again some other time?
Of course.
You also have about an hour or two of resting while you guys sort of catch your breath from this, if you want to do that now too. It's up to you.
I'd imagine we'd probably be like patching up wounds and taking down the tent, rolling Calesta into a bundle to carry her or whatever. But Lance is like, next time we have a break, we can trade again.
Awesome. And Lance, roll a survival check for me, please.
Oh, cool. Okay. Let's hope I roll well.
The 12, a 12 is good enough. You know that you're a couple of hours away from this spot where you guys are headed to go meet with Merrick. But in about a couple of miles, you'll have to diverge off the roads and just travel through the forest.
Okay.
Kind of through the brush, which will make for a little bit of a slower... Sean, I know the song that's in your head right now.
Would you say into the thick of it?
We're jumping. I don't want us to get copyright. It's less notes than we would need to get copyright struck.
Thank you.
Which is going to take a bit longer than obviously traveling on an easy road would. But in about a couple of miles, you need to diverge up north a little bit.
Okay, he relays that information, and yeah, hopefully he's like, if we can make good time if we move now, and we still need to scope out the area, so the sooner we get there, the better.
It's a good thing that we gave ourselves about a full half day before we were supposed to be there.
That's very true.
Crazy,
yes.
right?
Wild.
Really out here, the foresight, you know? So let's, I guess, after we all, take our hour to fully wake up, because Lord knows I need it. Whew. We can be on our way.
I assume we just kind of wake Calesta up and she just is following.
Still a little bit groggy.
Yeah.
She's like, I had the weirdest dream. There was like a bear and a lot of shouting.
Nah, that was
wild.
That was real. Wellen points to the dead Null on the ground.
Oh, crazy. Cool. So you guys kind of rest for a bit and hit the road. And move your way forward. Is there anything you guys would like to do while you are on the road here?
Well, so what are we gonna do when we meet Merrick? Are we just trying to?
Good question.
Are we gonna try and like scare him into not? Are we gonna try and like pretend like we actually are Dirk? Are we just gonna try and fight a whole pack of werewolves?
I don't know about fighting a whole pack, but we do have Dirk's what Dirk was using to sort of disguise himself as other people. We could feasibly use it to disguise one of us as Dirk. And then use that in order to sort of find out this Merrick's true intentions. And then if we need to get the jump on him, that would be an easy way for him to be distracted.
Okay.
So we're just gonna kind of jump the guy. Is that, or are we?
I don't think that is a good idea. He will probably have people with him. Even if we can't see them, they'll probably be hidden somewhere.
That's true, but I think that like getting the lay of the land early can give us the advantage as far as where people would be hidden.
We can be hidden too, I suppose.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. Okay.
And then if Merrick is like, no, I don't want to stop turning people into werewolves, are we okay with taking him out?
I worry about having a pack of wolves chasing us around the plains, but otherwise, I mean, I don't know. Seems like maybe cutting the head off a snake might do some good, but you never know till you're over the bridge. That
felt like a lot of different.
That was a lot. That was it?
All in
Like
one.
5 different analogies.
Yeah, sorry. My parents like to speak in metaphors a lot when I was back home.
My mama mostly just spoke common.
Same.
Oh, well,
That-
my parents spoke a myriad of languages, but I do think I understand your point at the end of the day. It may be a good idea to sort of take out the leader as soon as possible and then, see what the underlings do. If there are any underlings, they may disperse. And if they do, then I don't really think that we have to chase down every single wolf in all of Taldore.
Do we
I meant the
know
opposite.
based off
Them
of
chasing us.
what we like spoke with Dirk? Do we have like an idea of like how many people he already has turned?
There's enough of a group that they're named.
Okay.
You do know that he spoke of a clan.
A
You don't know
clan.
exactly how many.
Don't know the size, but we don't think that most of them, the two townspeople that we encountered were the first two, like from the turf fields at least, that had been changed from the drugging.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I mean we can get there and maybe try and check things out before we're supposed to meet him, and if someone Dark said that sometimes Lily or Orchid would go. So if somebody wants to look like one of them, just so that it's not just one person actually in there with, face to face with Merrick, we can maybe have somebody else look like that.
Yeah.
Lance
have-
looks at himself and he's like, "Could I look like Orchid?"
She was pretty short.
Yeah. Do we have
how well do you walk on your knees?
Are you answering? Who are you asking?
Lance.
Lance is going in his full armor. He's going to get down and just
Clank, 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 clank.
This one might not be the best role for you, my friend.
If you think that is so, then
I think that given some time, you might be able to fully, get into character for it. But for this job, unfortunately, we're on a pretty tight deadline. Maybe not this one.
understood.
Does anyone here have some type of illusion they can put on themselves, or because I don't know how any of us is going to look like a little gnome woman.
Well,
I mean, I'm short, but gnomes are kind of tiny.
I can't illusion. I do have some costumes in my bag.
Makeup.
Yeah, I got some eyeliner, You can do a lot with shadows, some contouring.
I can turn into an animal and be alongside somebody.
Okay.
And so we don't have to. It's not a disguise of one of our people, but it's just so they're not down by themselves facing.
Merrick.
Yeah. I forgot his name.
I mean, if it's gonna be too much of a hassle to try and have a Lily or an Orchid, we can just have somebody as Dirk, and then all of the rest of us sort of looming in the nearby shadows.
Because I believe that Dirk said that. No, never mind. That was Merrick that said that Dirk said that Merrick would usually show up with at least
with his girlfriends,
a lady on his arm. So yeah, I mean, we might be able to have one of us as Dirk, and then we can just sort of lie our way into saying that another of us is a new assistant that is being taught the ropes.
How tall was Dirk?
That's a good question. Riley, how tall was Dirk?
Dirk was like 5'9".
And wait, the disguise thing we have does not make him look like Dirk, though, right? It makes him look like another person who he said he doesn't. He meets it when he used to meet the guy. He would meet him as Dirk.
As Dirk.
Yeah, but it's just a general disguise kit.
Yeah, so we can be whoever we want.
Yeah.
I didn't know if it was specific like pieces for a specific costume or something. Okay.
I think we did take his false identity papers, but I don't think we're planning on looking like his false identities. Because that was just why Liz was asking if he met him as an identity or as Dirk to see what we might maybe need to disguise ourselves as.
Lit. Okay.
So she's just gonna kind of look at Sirius and be like, "You wanna take the prestigious role of Dirk Danemark?"
Perhaps not the most elevated role that I've ever wanted, but alas, desperate times, desperate measures. So if that's okay with everyone, I think that I can step into that role on short notice.
Show must go on.
That is very true.
Do you want me to break your leg?
I
heard they did that sometimes.
Wellen just quickly does like a quick take, like.
That's what they do, right?
Maybe next time.
I went to an opera once, and people kept saying that.
Yeah.
That's another.
They don't literally break their legs. How would they be on stage with broken legs?
Well, y'all can do a lot with magic these days.
That's in the background, like, oh.
It's another metaphor. It's another metaphor.
Yeah.
I didn't do very good in English.
That's okay.
I didn't go to English very often. The class, school.
You mean common?
Yes.
Common.
Fantasy English.
Yeah,
I had to go to common class.
I'm going to common.
Common class.
Common Core with a whole new spin on it. Okay, so I'll be Dirk. Wellen, if you want to transform into,
like a wolf, maybe. No, let me not say that because I don't know if I actually can do that. That
may be a little too on the nose.
On our foundry, you should have a folder of your wild shapes that are accessible to you under the player character tab, where you would go to find your token. You should have a folder you can see called wild shape.
I could be a panther, or like a big lizard or frog.
Let's try to think like Dirk, right? He's sort of a country boy, so he would probably have, less of a.
You know, just be a dog.
Yeah.
Out of character, I'm wolf. I can be a wolf. I can be like a more domestic looking wolf.
Okay. I think that's probably the best idea. And then if Lizabeth, you want to accompany us, that way, if things do go south, I don't die.
Hear me out here. What if we go and I'm a wolf and we tell them and we try to be like, the drugs you gave us don't work. They turn the people into real wolves.
They turn people
and we jump because we're mad.
That's
ruminating on that idea. We have a Kyra finally here from traffic, so we are going to go to a break to get her all set up, let everyone get a chance to get some water, use the restroom. So we will see you guys in 5 minutes as you all reflect on what a good idea Wellen just put out into the chat also.
It's the best idea I've ever heard.
Oh, that's incredible.
All right.
See you guys soon.
We're gonna take a break.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back. We have a Kyra. Kyra is here, and we're thrilled. We are going to pick right back up where we left off with Wellen just having proposed approaching Dirk with the idea that he actually turned somebody into a wolf, and they're not thrilled about it.
I mean, what's the? I feel like so. Maybe approaching what seems to be a lawless drug dealer, with the pretense that instead of asking for more drugs, like the letter that we sent says.
Oh yeah, we did send the letter.
We did send the letter that we are actually confronting him due to his drugs turning someone fully into an animal may not be the best move.
I guess the thing that I was just thinking was like, if the point is just to get him to stop operating, you can just be like, we just cut off the relationship. Your drugs literally took away my customers because they turned them into animals, and I don't want to work with you anymore, kind of situation. But I guess that wouldn't necessarily stop them from still trying to make more werewolves. I don't know.
So yeah, I guess if I'm being made to look like Dirk, I've never used a disguise kit, so I may need some assistance with that. But yeah, it may actually be a good idea to have to maybe bring someone else with me. Like I think that Wellen coming as an animal is a good way to have more people right there.
Can you sort of go wolfy, but maybe look a little more like that dog?
I mean, I think I have some control over the appearance. It'll still be a wolf at the end of the day, but I can maybe be a
Just
smaller.
look a little sleepier like that. He had a dog,
He
right?
does have a dog.
I didn't ask his
right.
dog's name. That was pretty rude.
You know,
Did have
he
a
had just
dog.
tried to kill one of our friends. I think that you're excused for maybe
you
not
talk
being.
to
That's
him?
true, but that's not the dog's fault.
Yeah, I'll just like copy that dog's like coat pattern and maybe.
Like that
Yeah.
dog's mean older cousin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
Good
and
idea.
I'll
Smart
say,
thinking.
and I can say
Yeah.
that I'm dog sitting for Auntie.
It is his dog. I brought my
Oh
dog.
yeah, that's true. That's true. I am just. I wanted some company on the trip, so I brought my dog. And then maybe our three our punchy ladies, our slashy ladies, and our slashy boy can be sort of, strategically placed. I don't know. I'm not very good at strategery, as it were.
I mean, if we've got three, we could make a triangle.
That is true. That is true. Triangles have 3 points.
I'm not sure.
I went to that day of math class.
What's that, Lance?
I'm not sure how well I'll be at hiding. Saying that because I have heavy armor and disadvantage at stealth. But
that's a very good point.
Do
If
we
you
think
just
that
take your place and don't move before he gets there?
also it may not be a bad idea for, instead of having a gnome woman with me, I say that I've got like a bodyguard. Instead of having to be stealthy, Lance can just stand behind me and look sort of menacing.
I'm not sure if that's the best idea if he's never come with a bodyguard before.
He's come accompanied before.
Not with a bodyguard. He came with an assistant.
That's true.
That comes off as intimidating.
I mean,
And,
the travels are dangerous. We got attacked by gnolls. He just wanted to be safe.
Lance also looks at his armor which I'm pretty sure may still be the armor from when he was in the arms. I am not certain, but
You aren't wearing like the
Okay.
uniform of the arms of Amon right now. That would be kind of wild.
Just fucking.
I've never stated that
yeah.
I've gotten new armor, so I was just wondering. I was like, I
No,
don't
you have
know.
like a more generic sort of armor set that you picked up
Cool.
in
I
your
got worried for a second.
travels.
All right, in my travels. All right, so okay, scratch all that.
And so maybe Dirk hired a sellsword for this trip because of the recent attack, due to the sort of werewolfy incident in the Turst Fields during the festival, and as a result, needed some extra protection, just in case.
All right.
I think that's a pretty solid idea.
All right.
You'll be ready
Can't
to
say he'll be
jump
too
out of the
fond of
shadows.
it, but
At the end of the day, we're not trying to make friends. So we'll try and convince him that he should give up his continual werewolfery as far as turning new people into werewolves. And if he's not agreeable to that, we improvise.
we probably will be improvising.
Yeah, I guess who starts the improvisation? Who makes that call? Is this the big thing?
Well, I would assume Sirius, if he's the one interfacing.
I don't really want to be the one that makes that call this time.
That's valid. I can just like howl or something, I guess.
Can you, while you're a shaggy dog, can you still summon Marsh?
I don't think I can cast spells while I'm shapeshifted, but it's not hard for me to go back necessarily. I won't be able to have Marsh out while we're doing this.
How about instead of me making the decision, we can leave it up to Wellen, or if Lizabeth, you see things going south and you sort of want to make that judgment call.
The first strike.
I mean, I think if y'all three are gonna be up there with him, it probably makes more sense for one of y'all to be the one to do it, and then Calesta and I can sort of
Help, because we
converge.
hopefully we'll be able to hear, but we won't be able to read expressions or know exactly what's going on as well as you all.
And also, just in case there's other members of the pack, it might be good for us to not, to be able to go deal with some of that if the need arises.
So the other thing that I can do while I am an animal is I get the senses, of that animal. I'm pretty sure wolves have a really good sense of smell. I might be able to pick up on people waiting in the bushes or something like that. Maybe we can.
You can smell fear. That's a metaphor.
Well done. Good job.
Yeah. That's pretty much a metaphor.
Why do we need the need to smell fear?
I'm just saying that Wellen is very talented.
That's a very good skill, Wellen.
Okay, so the three boys are going to be sort of the faces, and then ladies, if you do notice any anybody out there trying to scope out or hide for an ambush, Lizabeth, I know that you are probably quick and quiet enough to dispatch of someone without making a lot of noise, so we may be able to whittle down their numbers even mid-conversation, if it needs to come to that.
We can give it a try.
All right.
I mean, obviously, I think we're kind of spitballing a little bit, but
Yeah. So all right. Maybe before the morning tomorrow, if someone would like to help me look like Dirk, that'd be great.
so wait, we're meeting him tonight?
Tomorrow night, right? We've got a full day and a half sleep.
So you
I
got
thought it was.
two nights sleep. You told him to be there in 3 days.
So tonight.
Tomorrow will be the third day.
Tomorrow will
Tomorrow
be the third.
night. Yeah.
Okay, so we have. Okay,
Okay.
cool.
Yeah.
So maybe tonight after it gets dark, Mrs. Calesta, if you would maybe, I know you're also pretty quick, and if you would like to, maybe the two of us could kind of go and see what things are looking like around wherever they kind of are, and we can just sort of see how many of them they are and like
So
what
scout
they're
it
up
out?
to, and if you would like to, of course,
If
if
that
you
makes
are
sense.
interested. Okay.
Well, Lance is going to start not necessarily scout it out like y'all said, but just start walking around the area to get familiar with the area.
So we do still have to get there.
Are we
are
not?
we
Are
not
we
there yet?
there? Or are we not there yet?
You're just now getting there. So you guys kind of roll up to this area where it's this river that's cut through these two sort of eroded hills and cliffsides with bushes and grasses, all sorts of good stuff. So you have arrived.
Yes.
If there's any preparations you guys would like to do tonight. And Cinque, never mind.
Okay.
Oh,
Not a big fan of seeing the DM roll some dice privately. That should always.
Don't worry about it.
It's too late, Riley. It's too late.
Oh wait, before I walk straight across this river, how deep is this river? I probably shouldn't even walk straight across it. Never mind. Lance fully gets swept up by the river.
At
and
its
gone.
deepest, it's probably about 6 feet deep. It's
Oh,
a
okay.
slow-moving river, though. It's not like rushing.
I can't walk through that.
So do we want to set up camp for the night like here-ish? And then like while say me and Wellen are setting up camp, if the rest of you all want to sort of do a sort of general sweep of the area to find vantage points, is that what you guys call them?
I think we set up camp not where we're gonna meet him, just because that feels a little
Yeah,
too
so we know
close.
exact.
That was a metaphor. You did it. What you did there. That's a metaphor.
I'm getting real good at these, y'all.
Quick on your feet.
Yes, do we know exactly where we're going to meet him?
So Lance does.
Lance does. There was a spot
Lance
marked
is gone.
between these 3 boulders
Lance is
where
standing
Lance
where-
has forded the river and is just sort of standing at it now.
We've been talking this whole time, and Lance just walked across the
Just
river.
fucking walked all the way away.
6 feet deep. Like you only see his head when he's in the river, and he's just
That's
watching.
fucking crazy.
His vision, you
dude.
can't even see him because he's so far away from our tokens.
How far away is Lance right now?
From you?
Yeah, from me.
About 70 feet.
Okay. So I would like to I'd like to cast message to him. And with my message, I would like to say something along the lines of, "Hey friend, I'm not too sure where you wandered off to. Hopefully you're safe.
Can we not see each other?
I, with my vision, cannot see your token.
Oh,
It's daytime. So y'all can
Um,
see okay.
Okay. So I'll be like, hey, buddy. Do
Lance
you
is
know
just no
exactly? Can you let us know precisely where we're meeting Merrick? So we don't set up camp exactly where we're supposed to be meeting, a potential bad guy.
You're gonna if anyone's looking at Lance,
You can reply to this message.
yeah, Lance is going to be like, he's gonna stop and he's gonna be like, you're gonna see him hold some fingers up and be like, I am standing there. Hello, Sirius.
I'll cast message again and be like, so there's where we're supposed to be meeting. There's also not a word count limit for this spell. So you can say as many words as you like, and you can also reply to this message.
Well, understandable. On the map that we had, there was a spot between 3 big boulders, and if you come down the river, there are 3 big boulders about 70 feet from where you guys are. There's a couple hills. I feel like those would be good vantage points, but I feel like this is the spot that we will be meeting at.
All right, so do we think that we might want to set up camp on one of the hills, maybe to get a good vantage point?
At the very least, to protect us from anything that might be up there.
That's true.
Over the night.
Do we know what direction they're coming from?
Absolutely not.
Are there werewolf tracks in the mud along the riverbank?
Make a survival check, Liz.
I would love to do that.
You're great at that.
An 8?
There's a lot of marks in the mud going in a lot of different directions.
Okay. Well, I feel like they probably aren't coming from the direction that we're coming, just because if you're trying to meet someone, you usually meet in a place that is sort of between the two of you. So it wouldn't make sense if we had already passed them, then for us, for Dirk to have usually gone further than where they are. So I feel like maybe they'd be coming up from the other way. But that's just a guess.
Makes sense.
Solid guess.
So are we thinking that we probably want to set up camp on the hill that's sort of overlooking the 3 rocks? For context, the hill that's on the left side of the map.
Yeah, can we kind of hide the tents maybe a little bit in some of those trees, just so that we don't stick out so much?
Yeah, sure. And
we can pack up before we meet also.
Yeah,
I just mean in case they are sending anybody else to look.
That's fair.
Because we're sending people to look, so maybe they're sending people to look, and we'd rather see them before they see us.
Riley, it's the beginning of fall, right?
That's right.
So it hasn't quite gotten super duper cold at night, I would assume.
Not quite. There's definitely a bit of a chill. But
would we be able to sleep without having a fire going and not?
It would be a little bit chilly, but you wouldn't risk exhaustion.
Okay.
It wouldn't be comfortable for sure.
That's valid. Would that work for everyone if we didn't have a fire running during the night? Although it wouldn't make sense if, I suppose if the plan for Dirk was to then meet them at night, he would not have gotten there early, I would assume. So maybe we camp with one tent, maybe, or put the 2 tents next to each other so it looks like one really big tent if we want to have a fire going.
That sounds reasonable.
I have a question about my create bonfire spell. if it says it fills a 5-foot cube, does that mean like it doesn't leave like make a smoke trail or anything? It's here. Let me just, I guess, throw it down in the chat real quick. You're muted, Riley.
Thank you. It's still like a normal fire. That's just basically saying it's not. You can't create like a 20 by 20 foot flame.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I was just wondering if it was possible that I could make us some special fire that would keep us warm and not signal to people. But
yeah, unfortunately not.
Okay. Cool.
So maybe
we'll all
just
bundle up extra close.
Yeah.
Sorry, Calesta.
She just makes a face.
Okay, so that's the plan. We'll set up top, sort of behind the trees. We won't run a fire tonight, just in case. And then if our sneaky people plus Lance want to sort of scope out the area, then you guys are free to do that.
We'll go around and climb these hills, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you guys are trying to immediately climb up by the riverbanks here, it looks like they're kind of eroded and it's more of a cliffside. But if you take the time to kind of follow it around, it's maybe like half an hour of walking or so to get up to the top without having to make an athletics check.
Gotcha.
Now with an athletics check. See, for the athletics check.
Y'all
have fun.
Yeah, y'all strong folk can go do that. Well, Sirius and Wellen are going to take a nice little stroll.
We can stroll through. We can.
I also need to get across this river.
I would like
I put them on my shoulders.
Wait, before you do that, because I can do since we're spending the night, I am going to cast Levitate.
Oh.
And I am going to go ahead and I have to check and see. Damn it. I was going to twin spell it, but because it technically counts as a second level spell, I will, however, cast it on you and then just sort of give you a light little push so that you just float right across.
He's just like, I don't know.
That's okay. I mean, you do, like, if you're not willing, I can just do it.
No, it's fine. He's just like, this feels very weird. It's almost like being on the ocean again, but not the same. It's worse.
And then as soon as Wellen gets to the other side, I'll drop it.
Follow my butt.
Awesome.
It's kind of an interesting feeling.
Now the question is, how do I get over there?
How do you get over there?
I can. Go ahead.
Oh no, you go first. Your idea might be a legitimate idea.
I was gonna say I can. I didn't think of this actually. I can probably just bring you across with Marsh.
There you go.
How many feet across is this thingy? If anything, it'll drop you on the other bank.
It's like 10 feet from bank to bank.
Gang.
Down by the bank to the bank.
Yeah, I can. I forgot I can do this, and he can just teleport you around. And I just kind of.
Will this hurt?
I yelled at Calesta. Does teleporting hurt?
Not really.
Okay. I guess we're taking a bit of a leap of faith.
Yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. And I cast Marsh over across the way and have him do fiery teleportation.
He kind of hits about your knee, Sirius, as he kind of just looks up at you. He has these thick tusks of flame and exhales this poof of smoke and just sort of paws at the ground.
I'll just sort of step away from the smoke in case he lights me aflame, and then just sort of be like, "Hi, Marsh. It's
he doesn't
great
bite.
to see you again." Yeah, but I have seen him, fully light people on fire.
That's true. It's
Is
pretty
just
cool, isn't
Sirius
he?
going across with Marsh?
Do I just touch him or what do I do?
I'll take care of it. You could just stand
Okay.
nearby. I don't want you to hurt yourself.
That I appreciate you very dearly.
Is Sirius the only one coming across? Is anybody else joining in that teleportation? Poof.
So are we setting up the camp, or are we looking for where we think their camp is?
I was planning on setting up camp.
We just got to get to the other side of this river
Yeah.
to go around
It's
up
just
the hill.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's also very swimmable.
Oh, if it's
Yeah,
swimmable,
Sirius can swim.
Nope,
Liz
I'm
is-
good. I'm
Liz is diving.
good.
Liz
Yeah,
probably knows how to
Lance
swim.
isn't
Yeah,
really
she for
trying
sure
to
knows how to
teleport.
swim.
I don't think Lance knows how to swim. He just wants to go pet Marsh. But y'all can teleport first.
As
That's
Lance
wild.
is walking up to like reach his hand out to Mars, she just disappears and we're on the other side. He's like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, he goes, just pops up. Kind of a bit of the water splashes on Marsh, and he like pushes as far back from the riverbank as he possibly can.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. But
No.
my bad. Thank you though, and I kind of just give him a little tussle, and then I bring him back into the staff.
There's kind of this like begrudging sort of exhale, not quite a growl, but a noise that he makes.
We'll hang out later. I should bring him back in.
Awesome. So, unless there's any special activity that anybody would like to do to cross, you all sort of can make your way. Those of you who want to climb can climb. Anybody else can walk sort of around. Anybody who is climbing, go ahead and give me an athletics check.
Can I keep the one I rolled earlier, or?
Yeah. All right, Calesta and Lance, easily enough, you both scale your way up here as the rest of the party sort of meanders their way around, maybe about 20, 25 minutes later, climbing up the apex of the hill.
Is Liz going up the hill or going around, or?
Yeah, Liz is walking up, but as she's sort of like wandering, can she just kind of like keep an eye out for like any signs that people have camped here before, or like, anything like that, to see maybe if like when Dirk has come, like if there's a specific spot that he would maybe usually stay at, or any signs of werewolfism.
Yeah, go ahead and make a perception check.
Liz is great at those too.
We're super wise.
She's doing all right. She's doing all right today.
Yeah, you see there's a couple of different spots where there's like a couple of rocks haphazardly in a circle, maybe where there was a fire at some point. Like some branches on some of these bushes are broken, but it doesn't seem like there's a specific designated camp spot. It just looks like there's been a couple of places that you spot on your walk where people have camped here before.
Okay. All right.
On the way, while we're walking around, you said it's like a 30-minute walk, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. While we're going around, I'm just gonna kind of walk up alongside Sirius and be like, so that fire thing you did this morning was really cool. I know you didn't really throw a lot of spells around while we were down in the basement, but this, like, I noticed when you were doing that illusion that your eyes like had a little bit of a flash to them or something. I healed Lance and I looked back and you looked really pissed off and really scary and also kind of purple. Not you, your eyes, sorry.
That's weird. I mean, I've never like held a mirror to myself as I'm casting magic, so I'm not super sure what my face looks like. But like I told Lizabeth, a lot of that was really a blur. I don't remember most of it. But yeah, I'm not entirely sure what the eye thing is. I believe you. I just I don't know. That
Interesting.
sounds really spooky.
Yeah, it was it was pretty spooky. There was a lot going on at the moment, so it's understandable. But
Let me know if it happens again.
maybe it's just magic stuff. I don't know.
It's not something that has happened to me before, and I've been doing magic for a bit now.
What don't mind me asking, like what kind of magic? Like how do you is this like a back where I'm from, we had druids, we had clerics. And they were like people kind of knew they were two different types of magic, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Mine is, there have been a couple of spellcasters in my family. Way back in the day. One of my ancestors used to be like super big with some deity, but I don't really know the details. But yeah, it's like an innate thing. It's not like I had a conversation with somebody and then created a deal and then that's how I've got my power. I just sort of, as far as I can remember, I've had, a little bit of an affinity for the arcane. So yeah,
It's a pretty cool talent. All right. Well, I guess I'll just keep an eye out for that purple
Yeah.
glowy stuff next time.
yeah.
It looked like the fire. The purple looked like the fire you cast. That's what made me think of it. That's actually what reminded me of it.
Okay, interesting.
So I thought it may have something to do with your magic, but we'll just keep an eye out for it, I guess.
Yeah, my magic sort of always had that sort of tinge to it. So.
Well, he just kind of shrugs, throws his hands up, and I guess he'll
Hopefully...
probably go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, he was just gonna kind of throw his hands up, and he was gonna walk away to Liz.
Yeah.
But
no, that's valid.
Not necessarily to strike up more conversation, but just kind of where we all walk together as a group. I know she's kind of doing her lookout thing as we move along.
As we're like walking, before we full on cross, like at the triangle of boulders, like before we start walking around, can I ritual cast detect magic?
Sure.
And then I'm gonna put it right here if the template would let me. There we go.
Yeah. No immediate magic pings for you.
Okay, cool. And then we
nothing unexpected, I should say. As y'all are actually there, let me see. Let's see who pings is having some magic on them. Let me check. Lances, clean. Calesta's clean. Wellen staff pings as magical, of course.
Yeah.
Expectedly.
A whole ass fire pig comes out of it. I would expect. I would hope that it's fucking magical.
Wellen also has 2 like small pings of abjuration magic around his neck.
Oh, fancy schmancy.
And
nice.
Liz pings from her hip and her cloak, and then ping from her bag as well.
It's quite a few pings. But those are the pings.
Those are the pings. Nothing from the immediate landscape.
Gotcha. Cool.
Nothing that isn't from your friends.
Right. Okay. That.
Cool. While this group trio is walking around, Lance and Calesta, what are y'all up to?
I would say Calesta's probably started just kind of like looking out like over the cliff to see if she can see anything like from that vantage point.
Yeah, make a perception check.
I've never heard someone sound more distressed to make a perception check.
Okay. With a 20, you see just some small movement of animals and stuff off in the hills. But other than just some fish in the stream, it seems pretty quiet around here.
Why do you think they didn't just scale the wall?
Oh, this is us talking while we're waiting for them? Oh.
Just turns to Lance and says this.
Lance looks down and then looks at them, I guess, walking around. He's like, Liz could have definitely gotten up here. Maybe she wanted to walk with Wellen.
Suppose that makes sense.
And maybe Sirius didn't want to get his clothes dirty.
That also tracks.
So he's just like, yeah, it's a nice walk.
Wow, what a nice walk that was as we come back in this now.
Yeah, you guys all make your way together, and if you want to set up camp for the evening, you're welcome.
They sat there for 20-something minutes, didn't say anything until that last 2 minutes of conversation.
Ivan.
I didn't want to disturb Lizabeth as she was, sleuthing, I didn't want to break that focus at all.
Does this seem like a good spot? Kind of turning to her.
Can I roll to see what the most sort of stealthy way to be would be?
Yeah, that'd be a survival check.
Yeah.
You're great at those.
Liz super knows about that.
You know that maybe camping on top of a hill is not perhaps the most stealthy option that exists in the world, but you can probably make camp in some bushes or something if you need to, but this is maybe not the most discreet place to post up, but it's not a bad one either. It has its pros and cons.
Yeah, I mean, we are on top of the hill, which does mean that it's a lot easier to see us than if we were in the valley. But I guess the upside of that is that then it's a lot easier for us to see something else. And, with the cliff and all, we probably don't have to worry about getting jumped, at least from that side. So that's kind of, so it's sort of,
In the area around us is, so there's hills going off the edges of the map, or the general elevation. Is the general elevations area is the river side lower than everything else, or are these hills kind of more higher than everything else? Does that make sense? Outside of, this stretch right here has a lower part where the river is, and then the hills, right?
Yes.
Outside of this map, around past this map, is everything more on elevation with the river, or is that lower than everything?
It's kind of a more foothill area, so you've been traveling over these sort of rolling hills a bit. So it's kind of a hillier landscape, so there are hills and valleys kind of to be seen for probably a good bit of your day's travel off of the road.
Gotcha. So this is
Did I
like
answer
a
your
local
question?
maximum. We are
Yeah.
higher than most of the things around us.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're kind of in a
Okay.
foothills area of the
Mhm.
plains, but the foothills goes for like a couple of miles.
Gotcha.
Okay. Yeah, I guess it
It's
was
not
just a
high enough
question of
that you can like full see all of the plains around you.
how like likely it is that someone approaching from any direction would actually see us, or if they would be like if we camped away from that cliffside, would we be lower than like would we be high enough that we could probably just like have a position where they can't see us kind of thing. But yeah, I'm just gonna say that out loud then. I guess be like maybe if we just kind of stay from the cliffside, it'll and then watch down the hill, it'll be easier for us to keep an eye out.
That's true. If we're on like a hill, right, and they're coming from this way and we came from this way, it might be better for us to camp on this side, like over here-ish, where we can't be seen from people coming from this side, instead of camping right here at the point.
Yeah.
Because that can be seen from both sides. Is that possible, Riley?
Yeah.
Okay.
Easily enough. I don't have it immediately on this map, but you guys can make your way down kind of on the backside of this hill that you're at.
Cool.
Yay.
You could set up camp for the night.
You can just say it's like right here.
How are we divvying watches tonight, then?
Well, are we gonna try and go see if we can find where the werewolves are gonna come from?
Okay.
That's still a
that
little
makes a good
scouting.
point. So
I mean, like I said, we don't really know it all, so we just be kind of going into the woods and wandering. But
if y'all want to do that before the sun goes down, the three of us boys can set up the tents.
can I take the tent out of the bag?
I did agree to this, didn't I? Just don't be weird. Don't be weird about it.
Grabbing the camera.
Yeah, Liz, you can easily go like up to your elbow in this like small little knapsack, and you like kind of reach almost your whole arm in.
Can Liz just kind of fish around, see if she, see what she finds?
Yeah, you kind of fish around, and you don't really find anything until you think about the tent, and then it's like in your hand.
This is amazing. And she'll pull the tent out. I need to get some new accessories, I think.
Did you have fun?
Yeah.
All right. I'm glad you had a good time.
Yes, would you all also mind watching Fox, who's not exactly the quietest all the time? I guess it was quiet enough for you all not to notice him, though. Because the little dragon kind of like peeks around like out of her cloak.
Yo!
Oh, yeah.
I completely forgot that you had a whole ass dragon.
It's like standing next to her, if it like pops up on his shoulder, Lance would be like, "Oh my god!"
Oh, his token's so small.
Well,
Lance is gonna reach out to it, I guess.
Lance just wants to pet everything.
Does the lizard thing. This thing, Calesta, Fox is like full on one of those animals where you're like, you've never thought a single thought in your whole life. Like you're just head empty, the sweetest boy.
So
he's just kind of like...
Yeah, he's pretty friendly. He's not the smartest.
Well, all right. We'll keep an eye on him as we set up. Y'all be safe. Stay out of sight.
Wellen is just quizzically looking at Fox like. How did
from afar?
Before you go, Calesta, why do you name your clearly not a fox Fox?
He reminds me of someone that I knew. No.
Are they alive?
I hope so.
Are they like an old friend?
I'm just wondering why you said new,
Yeah.
and
That
then
is
changed it to no.
a long story.
How about
But
you know
I'm
what?
not exactly sure of the ending.
We'll circle back. We'll get.
You're not sure. Of
Now
the
is
ending.
probably not
Interesting.
the best time to, have this conversation. If y'all want to go out and search for stuff and look out for stuff, but
Yeah, it's getting dark.
we are gonna have this conversation eventually, if it's okay with you, if you don't mind. I don't want to press. I do not want to push at all.
She's just
Your
kind of
head
like
just
staring
half
at you,
inside
just
the
like.
camera.
Does he back up like you are? Does he like
Yes.
actively just get away
Fully
from
like
her?
takes us like half a step back every time, just
I don't want
like
any trouble.
Well, Lance goes and picks up Fox while Sirius is actively stepping away from Calesta.
y'all have fun, and I'm just gonna start unfolding the tent that that Elizabeth got out.
He like starts batting at like one of your like your accoutrement on your armor, Cinque, like your extra whatever
Yeah.
you have on there. Fox is just like kind of like a cat, just like pawing at it.
It's precious.
Starts like.
He's precious.
Is he gonna cry? Is Lance crying?
No.
Just starts sobbing uncontrollably. He's just so cute.
The innocence of a life that doesn't know pain.
Lance attempts to help with the tent also.
Okay, Liz and Calesta, if you guys are going scouting, I will say one of you give me a perception check and the other, actually perception checks to start.
So
Are we
both of us
both-
perception checks?
Up to
Yeah,
you.
are we both
because
rolling
one of you can
separately,
help.
or does one of us want to get advantage?
That's up to you.
How good is Calesta at seeing things?
I have a +2 for perception.
I also have a +2.
So roughly the same.
So
And
do you
then,
want to roll
let's
with
see.
advantage, or do you want to have us roll separate? Or do you want me to roll with advantage? This doesn't really matter.
What's the other? We also need to make a stealth. I think you're.
There are
Yeah,
going to be a
either way,
couple
I
of
think-
rolls.
Okay, cool. Yeah, let's make one with advantage. Would you like to roll?
Sure, I will perceive with advantage.
Okay, go ahead and make your roll.
Not well.
You guys wander for about an hour and a half without really finding tracks of. You find a couple of tracks. There's some deer tracks, and you're like, oh, maybe they'll lead this to us for like hunting, and you kind of follow those for a little while, and you're like, nope, nothing really there. And then you're like, well, maybe these kind of look like dog kind of paws, and sort of follow those for a little bit, and it's just kind of a bit of an unsuccessful search to start. Is there anything? Are you guys chatting about anything? Or are you walking in silence?
At the start of the walk, Calesta would have turned to her, say, "Did you see anything on your way up?"
Well, it looks like probably a couple of people have just, come by this area and camped around there. Maybe Dirk, maybe just, other random folks sort of passing through, but nothing that looked like what I think a lycanthrope camp might look like. But I guess I've never seen a lycanthrope camp before, so.
Just lichen. Okay. When I got to the top of the hill, I didn't see anything from that area. Just a couple of animals moving around. So doesn't seem like there's much to see so far.
Awesome. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, do we see? So is it just sort of like continuing up in the other direction, like away from where our camp is?
Going
Is
upriver.
it still all just foothills and stuff, basically?
It's like it's rolling foothills for a while around here, and I think kind of being a touch familiar with Caldora, you know that these hills kind of go for a little while before it goes to plains for just a touch, maybe a couple of miles before it backs right up into the Parchwood Timberlands.
And how far from here would the Parchwood Timberlands be?
Oh, it's a good bit of ways. The Parchwood Timberlands are like about 4 to 5 days travel.
Okay, so we kind of know that they're probably somewhere in the foothills.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, do we you want to circle around again? Maybe you can try looking this time.
I think that makes sense. Just to double check our track. It seems weird that we wouldn't have seen anything.
Should have asked. Maybe Wellen knows something about wolfish behavior. Maybe. I mean, if he can become a wolf, he might know something about where they might like to live. I don't know. I didn't think to ask.
If you guys are going to continue your search, you can make a check with a different skill that's not perception. Explain to me what you're using and how you use it.
Do you have any other skills that you think would be helpful here, Calesta?
I have +2 survival and +2 nature.
Yeah. Either of those.
And investigation.
Yeah. I think any of those would be useful.
I think maybe a nature check, since we're trying to see if we see like animal tracks or something like off with the kind of like the woods around us.
Yeah. Maybe like a hill that kind of like sticks out more than it should. Like an entrance to something underground, maybe?
Yeah. Go ahead and make
sense.
a nature check.
All right, cool. Is that with advantage or just a normal?
Is Liz helping?
Yeah, she will try.
So go ahead, Liz, to help. Go ahead and just make a nature check, just DC 10 to be able to give assistance here since you're not proficient.
Nope. Nope.
Yeah, and at this point, it's like night has fallen. You probably don't want to spend much time just the two of y'all out in the woods.
All right. Well, I guess what we have learned is that they're probably pretty good at hiding. So.
Or they don't travel through here very often.
I guess. Which is something, right? It's not nothing. Not very helpful, but I think Sirius seems to have a good idea of what he's gonna say when he meets Merrick. Assuming Merrick shows up, I guess we don't really even know if this man's gonna come. So if there's anything else,
rude if he didn't.
Yeah, I mean he is trying to turn other people into werewolves though, so I don't really know if politeness is his main priority.
The business would be.
Yeah, maybe. True. So unless there's anything else that you wanna do while we're out here, I guess we can head on back.
Yeah, let's just head on back. Just keep an eye out on the way.
Yeah.
Awesome. The three guys. What are you guys up to while Liz and Calesta are out scouting for about 2 hours?
Setting up the tent. The tent's
making a little
probably
grub.
Yeah, probably trying to, get some edible shit together. Probably, I mean, Sirius is not the type to sit around in silence. So he'd probably just start a conversation like, so Lance, I didn't know that you had a fascination with animals like this. Did you have like a pet back home?
I'm not fascinated.
That's his answer. That's all he says.
He's like, I don't know. I wouldn't call it a fascination.
You do have like a sort of friendly demeanor when it comes to pets and creatures and things like that. You
Not like animals.
I didn't say that. That's not what I said. I just don't go out of my way to attempt to befriend a bear that's attacking me. Or, attempt to pet a rather large fire pig. You just seem to have, a cool sort of friendliness with pets, and I was wondering if that stems from something.
I never had pets when I was younger, so I don't think so. Maybe it stems from the lack of animals that I have seen across the years.
That's completely valid. And I mean, you're just sort of super duper friendly, so that may have something to do with it too.
Would you say I'm too nice?
No. Wellen, do you think that Lance is too nice?
I mean, I feel like it's hard to say that there's such a thing as too nice.
You
At
did
least.
tank a stab from a spear and proceed to murder the person that stabbed you. So I do think that sort of balances out the sort of friendliness with the bear. If you're worried about being like too nice,
too kind.
Yeah, if that is a concern, I think you've got it under control.
Cool.
And Sirius just kind of generally chats your guys' ear off for the next couple of hours before the girls show up.
And so Sirius is probably just trying to like mentally but out loud prep for ideas of what he's gonna say in front of Merrick. Just generally like so I've got to like embody it. How do you think my southern accent is? Like he's pretty country, so I gotta talk about my mama. I gotta I gotta bring up sort of some what are some things that you think that he would mention?
Make sure that you mention the those gnome girls. I'm just bouncing off of him because maybe it's like if I do it also, we'll practice together.
Can I embody him as well?
Blades sharpen blades, That's what they say.
Iron sharpens iron.
Iron sharpens iron.
Give me your money.
And so as the ladies, as we see the ladies come up, I'll just be like, "Hey there, ladies. How was your trip?
Do you find anything interesting?"
Are y'all mocking
we're
me?
making fun of her?
No. So
I was worried there was some sort of spell put on you all.
Am I doing a good Dirk voice?
Yeah, we were practicing our Dirk voices. I was practicing my Dirk voice, and for some reason, these two boys also wanted to practice their Dirk voices.
Iron sharpens iron. That was
apparently steel sharpens steel, and iron sharpens iron.
So we thought if we all did them together, we'd get a little bit better at it, But probably should have waited for you to get back.
We promised that we would never like that. Our intention wasn't to be offensive.
It absolutely was not mocking you. Yeah.
No.
I'm sorry. I'll stop doing it. Sorry.
because I figured that if we're going into this sort of meeting, and I speak with sort of the air of aristocracy or whatever that I naturally present, that it may cause Merrick, who I believe has had multiple interactions with Dark, to be suspicious off the jump. So, if I'm going to be presenting as Dark, I thought it best to sort of, give my best presentation.
I promise you weren't making fun of you. I promise.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if we offended you.
No offense taken.
What was he doing a good job?
I mean, the accent's fine. I think the problem's gonna be like you were talking about, the words that you use.
Yeah.
I don't, Dirk didn't really talk like that. I don't think that he would describe it as what did you say, aristocratic flair?
Close enough. Yes.
I wasn't really listening.
I get that a lot.
Oh no.
You want a couple of tips, a couple of pointers?
That would be excellent.
Well, trying to think of some words that he might use. I mean, if you're thinking about like an informant, something maybe, like if he's asking about where you're getting your information from, you might call that like a hole in need of plug-in, something like that. You wouldn't say my informant, if you're trying to be discreet. You probably don't need to be discreet with him because there's probably not going to be anybody else around, but sometimes it's folks in circles like that don't always talk in the words that they mean. It's sort of like y'all's
metaphor. It's exactly
metaphors.
what it is.
Metaphors.
Exactly what it is.
Okay,
Yeah.
Okay, so when in doubt, speak in metaphors.
But not fancy people metaphors.
Not
though.
fancy people, like real pragmatic, salt of the earth metaphors.
Blue collar metaphors.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's good.
Yeah.
I
mean, yeah, you could do that for sure.
Okay. Do you think that there are any do you remember any specific phrases or fixations that he had? Like, I know that, I think the way that I'm going to try and present it, to get, Merrick to stop selling, just in general, is that, the sort of fiasco at the fair, it really impacted the town, especially his mother, because I know that Dark really cares about his mom.
You gotta say my mama is how you have to say it.
Mama,
also.
my mama.
Sure.
That's what he said. He said that. He said that when we were down there.
He does say that, but it's not like a. You sound too pointy when you say words.
That's funny. Wellen just starts laughing.
So do I need to? And I'm super focused on this. So do I need to in order to sort of smooth it out? Should I make the words connect more? Should I sort of slur it? How do I make?
Don't slur. It's not a slur. It's not like you're drunk. It's just that's just how some folks talk.
Okay.
But so I mean, just a little rounder around the edges. A little.
Take the spaces out your words a little bit. Just a little.
Yeah,
bit.
it's less of a. It's like little. You say it little, but it's little.
Little.
Yeah.
Little.
Little.
All right. I think I'm starting to understand it. I don't want to like test drive it because I may be. If it's not good, I don't want to like I don't want to be offensive.
Well, I think if there's a time to be not good, it's probably better with this audience than with the like a rehearsal.
That's true. Rehearsal is the time to make mistakes.
But
okay, so I think I'll practice it throughout the night, and I'll try and get it better. I'll probably just spend all night just saying little.
I think that will be very helpful to you.
I don't.
Can Liz also teach him just like a couple of words in Thieves' Cant, just like phrases to recognize about like, anything about like, trading spots or, like where their next drug audience might be or,
the next drug audience.
Well, just like if he has any, like, because I'm assuming that, like, I don't know if they would be talking in code, but like just in case, just like phrases to recognize, to be like, oh, if he says this phrase, it's probably talking about, this is the town, this is, where they're going next, or like who they're next, or like, because that's my thing.
Yeah.
That's why I said drug audience, because this is not a guy just trying to sell drugs. This is a man trying to like recruit. So like anything like that. Just any kind of like buzzwords about like cults or drug trading.
Yeah. Sirius, make an intelligence ability check with advantage.
Okay. Let me pull up my character sheet because for some reason that went away. Intelligence check, ability check with advantage. Not too bad. 16.
Yeah, so with a 16, I'd say you're able to probably pick up on like, we'll say 3 key phrases that I'll signal you if they come up in that conversation that you will recognize what they are and what they're saying.
Gotcha. Cool.
And I guess you can do that thing where you show up in my brain.
Yes.
Can you do that while you're talking real?
I don't think that I can. Let me check. Yeah, I've gotta like whisper the message out loud. It's not like a fully, I don't have telepathy, I can't just sort of, I'm gonna like put my hands to my temples and try and like pretend like I'm sending a message to Liz. Like, see, you didn't get anything.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I could try to kind of help you out live time, but I guess I can't.
Unfortunately, not this time around. But okay, yeah, I'll keep practicing, and we will make it work.
Awesome. All right, so you guys are setting up. Camp is set, and you're all kind of there as evening falls. It gets a little bit chilly, and you all kind of have to just huddle close for warmth. Is there anything else you guys would like to do this evening before you all head into your watches?
You muted Aison.
Yeah, I muted myself to respond. That was crazy.
That's wild.
They're all just setting up camp and getting cozy. No fire.
All right, so then, are you guys taking watches tonight?
Yeah, we
definitely.
You don't want to sleep without just like unprotected, just like out in the open? Are you sure?
I mean, we could. That sounds like a good idea, actually. So we can all be rested up for the
I
morning.
think we good.
Full rest for the morning. I think that'd be.
Nope.
I speak for the whole team and say that we will.
All right, then. Time for first watch comes around. Who's up first?
Ooh, I can take
I feel like are we splitting it up like 1, 2, and 2 to do 3 watches?
Probably best, so everybody can sleep.
So maybe whoever sees the best should go alone since they won't have advantage.
Sure.
I've got a +3 to perception.
That's
I
better
have
than my
+4.
+0.
Lance is the best viewer of us.
Wild.
Man's
got
ain't got
that-
dark vision, but man's
got
got
that-
a +4 to
But I-
That
perception.
night vision, night with a K vision.
The night
Night with a
Period.
K.
Must have
And-
been nothing. That's Lance.
must have been the wind.
I will say if Lance is going on his own with no fire, his perception check will be at disadvantage because he does not have dark vision.
Mm.
I'll take the challenge. Hold on, I'll take that challenge.
Wait, so
Let me roll one real
maybe we have Lance be the one that goes by himself since he's got a pretty good ability, since he can see in the dark, and because
Lance
do you
can't
mean,
see.
No,
in the
Lance
dark.
can't see in the dark.
Wellen, sorry.
Oh, Wellen.
Y'all really
Okay.
sleeping on my boy.
I mean, I am down for you to do that. I'm just, if what we're trying to do is be as safe as possible, that is not our safest choice.
Lance will protect y'all.
But will he be able to see so he can protect us?
If Lance
I'm
gets
gonna
knocked out because he don't see it coming,
Hey,
But
the
I
dice,
respect
the
your
dice
right
tell
to
a
party.
story.
go ahead.
The
Go
dice tell a
ahead.
story.
All right, Cinque. Lance can be the one that takes the watch by himself.
I hope I don't kill y'all. I'm saying.
It'll be fine.
Is Lance arguing this point?
No, he's not. It's just me.
So do we want Lance or do we want Wellen to be alone?
That's up to y'all.
All right, well then I would prefer Wellen.
Wellen.
Sorry, Lance.
Are we having this again? Lance is like, that's fine. It's okay. He's not mad.
I'm not mad, Mom. It's
Fine.
okay.
It's
He
fine.
can take the watch.
Okay, so Wellen by himself, and then who wants to go with who?
Sirius should probably take a watch with Lizabeth, because I still got to practice my southern.
Okay.
And then
And you're scared of Calesta, so.
she's frightening. Okay.
I disagree, but okay.
Of course he would.
There's just two characters that don't do well with silence, and the one character that's expertise is in quiet. And, oil and water, baby.
We'll mix them eventually, but for right now,
We just got a lava lamp.
That's fair.
Okay, so who's taking first watch?
My boy Wellen.
Me.
All right, so the
Sure.
rest of you snuggle in your tent amalgamation setup that you've got going on here. And Wellen, you have a watch to yourself. What would you like to do?
Wellen is just gonna he's gonna look at the stars. Like they don't have it's easier to see them because like they don't have like a actual fire around, so it's like super dark. Just kind of thinking on home, thinking on like well, he's hoping that the decisions that they're making, like this plan of action goes through fine, so he can take care of this aching fever that's been messing with him. He's gonna grab his staff and kind of put his hand out in a little mini marsh. He's gonna summon like a mini marsh, not a big boy marsh.
The flame from the top of your staff just sort of jumps into your hand, and you kind of see the shadow of marsh within it as it grows just a little bit bigger.
Yeah, and he's just gonna kind of start, muttering to him a little bit under his breath about. He's just kind of like doing a little bit of a self reflection on whether or not he feels like these are the right path, but it's a lot of like just flip flopping of like, should we, I don't want to leave these guys. No, I don't really have any plans to leave them. I just don't know if I'm doing the right thing right now. And he's just kind of having that like back and forth, like talking to Marsh to himself. Yeah. But he's biding the time, watching out, chilling with Marsh.
As you're sort of sitting there kind of talking to Marsh a little bit. You watch as the flames sort of swirl, and Marsh is kind of just laying down and they're just sort of watching, kind of seemingly listening, and you watch. There's just this flicker for just 1 second of the flames. And
Like
flickers.
it flickered out, or like
No,
it's going
it
weaker?
shows. No. It flickers as though you see this huge, swirling whirlpool. Flickers again. You watch as this barren, cracked expanse of earth splits down the middle. And from that crack in the earth, a gouge of flame and lava and magma shoots up, instantly dispersed by this massive tornado.
What is this?
And it's all in the blink of an eye. It's just back to fire.
He tries to shake that off, like it's reminiscent of his bad dream visions. He's like, please tell me I'm not gonna start seeing stuff when I'm awake. And kind of tries to put the staff down and chill with Marsh. Well, was the reflection in the staff flame or in Marsh flame?
They're the same. It's just like the you've kind of pulled the flame out of the top of the staff, and it's a little bit bigger. And Marsh, it's almost like Marsh, the vision of Marsh in the staff disappeared for a second,
Mm-hmm.
and then flashed back to whatever little demi-plane Marsh lives in when you don't have him out.
Okay. Yeah, he'll probably just put Marsh back and put the staff down and just kind of sit and look up and try to shake his mind of that very scary sight of apocalyptic things happening.
Go ahead and make your perception check.
10.
It's pretty dark, and your mind is on some other things right now, but there's a couple of times where you hear some howling of wolves off in the distance that kind of make you panic for a second, but they don't seem to be getting closer.
Maybe I should have just turned into a wolf for this patrol so I could actually smell how close they are. He just kind of says to himself that is the time watch ends. Who's the next two people? It was Liz and Sirius.
It's up to you. It's up to you. The watch ends if there's nothing else that you would like to do.
Yeah, there's nothing that I want to do. I'm just, he's gonna spend that time just kind of waiting for the hours to pass until he feels like the moon has moved enough to be the right time.
Cool. Who do you wake for your next watch?
Yeah, he's gonna go to Sirius and Liz, and just gently wake them. Be like, "Hey guys, it's your turn. Happy accent practice."
Thank you. I will do my best.
You got it. And he goes and finds his. What was that sound? And just kind of goes and lays down. Did y'all hear that sound in the foundry?
Yo, yeah, Riley needs to chill out.
Okay. Yeah, he just goes and finds his little bedroll and gets into it.
All right. Liz and Sirius, it's almost dead of night as you're woken up by Wellen. What would you guys like to do?
Hi again. I figured before we continue my lesson, I would like to again sincerely apologize for my actions in Auntie's basement. I've been mulling it over, and I, as much as I don't want my friends to get hurt, I think that what I did was too violent and too dangerous as far as the potential for further harm. And I don't know, I've never lost anyone, and the idea of losing Lance, something just snapped, I guess.
You care about him a lot, don't you?
I do. And about all of you. We're friends now. It's been like fully 3 days that I've known you. GG's.
It's been like a week, I think.
Yes, it's been a couple more because we met at the festival.
5 days.
Yeah, 5 days. We've had a business week.
Fair enough. I have. We've known each other for approximately a week, but I hold all of you very close to me now. You're all very, very near and dear to my heart, and I don't want to let you down.
It was a scary situation, and I get that sometimes, you're in the moment and you do the best thing that you can think of, and sometimes you're not so proud of it after. But I don't think that you meant any harm. I'm kind of used to being with folks and with having a team, and it kind of, when we were fighting down there and everything was going well, I guess it kind of started not so great, but it got pretty good right there in the middle, and then it got kind of not so great down there at the end. But when it was good, we kind of felt like a team, and I guess I also don't really want to lose that anytime soon.
Well, like I said before, I plan on being the best teammate that I can be. Hopefully, that means that my Turst Fields accent is as authentic as it can be.
I think you'll do just fine.
Little.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, something that I wanted to run by you before we get into this sort of predicament. The last time I had to come up with names, I think I did an excellent job. I'm not going to lie. I think I did incredibly. Spur of the moment, came up with all of those names and subverted expectations. I think that it was phenomenal. However, I don't think that, saying, I'm sure that Merrick is going to ask who I'm with, and I don't want to give Lance's full government name. Do you have an idea for like a fake name that sounds kind of scary?
Like
an intimidating boy name?
An intimidating boy name. I mean, I feel like if you're going for maybe the sorts of folks that
like
we
a
met
mercenary
down there,
sort of name,
Yeah, I mean, maybe not like an actual name for sure. Maybe just like a a lot of them had those sort of like adjective noun kind of names that it wasn't really a something. So maybe like a Spicy Pete, or that's probably not a scary one, but I think it's kind of funny. Or
Avalanche Dan.
yeah, sure, he could be Avalanche Dan. Liz sort of like hears a voice through the whisper through the winds.
The metagame pigeon, cacaw.
So yeah, maybe something like that. Or I mean, is there like a particular trait about Lance that you kind of want to like pick up on? You know, a lot of times like Ayana the Viper, that was kind of her thing, was that she was, I mean, she didn't last very long.
Yeah, we couldn't really see why she was called the Viper, but
you know, I would assume that maybe it's because
like
she's
some
quick
sort of poison or really gets you.
So like, is there something specific about Lance that like stands out to you?
He's a bit of a behemoth. He's a tall boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe you know, I kind of like Avalanche Dan, actually. I think that one fits very well. Cinque, you put it out into the universe. These are your consequences. Yeah, I think I'll go with that. That I just want to be a little more prepared than I was last time. I think that the preparation is like 85% of executing any sort of operation, and we were woefully unprepared last time. We're not that much more prepared this time, but I would rather be more prepared than we were last time. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then after this, you know, assuming that we get out of this, then we can head up to the mountains and help Wellen.
Yeah, he's been in a bit of a rough way these past few days, but he's doing all right.
And he's got you to help him out here sprinting back and forth from the river.
Well, I think, you know, it's like a you know, he gets real hot. There's a lot of, so I think some of the water really helps out. It's very important to his well-being that I do that every single time that he mentions wanting water.
I mean, you know, I know humans are typically about 75-ish% water, and I'm sure that sort of applies across different races and species. I'm sure that water is also something that's really vital for Wellen.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right. If you guys, one or both of you want to make perception checks for your watch, you're welcome to do so.
My perception is a wild +0. So if you would like to roll with advantage.
I have a whopping +2.
Go for it. It's better than my +0.
Liz, your mind is real strongly on trying to come up with like a scary name that's better than Avalanche Dan.
That's a good name.
But it's a deep in thought. It's a hard one to top.
It really is.
Yeah.
How do you get to the top of an avalanche? You know, you can't top it.
Snowboarding.
Anyway, so next watch. If there's anything else you guys would like to do, otherwise we can wake up Lance and Calesta.
Liz is going to go get Lance before Sirius can, so that he has to wake up Calesta.
I'm gonna cast message as she's running to Lance to try and wake him up in his sleep.
What do you say?
I'm gonna say.
I don't think you can do that.
Oh right, I think because he's unconscious, I don't think that he would be able to hear. Let me look at the spell message.
Interesting.
It's funny thing, Black Lance sleeps.
It doesn't really specify.
It doesn't say. I guess that's
For a creature within range, I think you probably could.
Yeah. So I will cast message to Lance and be like, "Hey there, buddy. It's time to wake up, best friend. Like he
Well,
Lance,
went
like
you
to
kind of
imagine-
hear in the subconscious of your dream. You like dream, whatever dream you're having, Sirius just kind of pops his head in the little corner. Lance, hey, man.
It's time for you to
But
wake
it's
up.
very
time for you to
quiet and
watch.
gentle. You can decide if that wakes Lance up or not. But
he's not a heavy sleeper. I like to imagine that once he hears that, he just raises his head and looks up, and Liz is like running up to him and like stands right in front of him.
And then I'll go ahead and slowly tiptoe over to Calesta and like shake her shoulder a little bit. Calesta.
She groans and kind of like moves a little bit, but is still mostly asleep.
Hey, Calesta, you should wake up. As soon as her eyes open, I'm gonna lean back.
She like rolls over and like just opens her eyes, like looking at him.
Hi there.
Hello.
It's your turn for watch. I apologize for waking you. You know.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, you're stretching. Okay, that was stretching. Okay. You have a fun time now. I'm gonna go to sleep.
Have a good sleep. She kind of like pushes out of the tent.
all right. Lance and Calesta, is there anything you'd like to do on your watch?
We ain't talking. I'm just gonna sit there in silence and vibe. I'm just like,
Yeah. Calesta is a little bit. Well, I mean, she's always quiet. Probably just a little bit, slightly more withdrawn than normal. Just kind of like in her head mostly.
it's not because she just woke up and she's tired.
No.
Okay. Well, Lance is already gonna be out there, standing, I guess, surveying the area, and as he sees her come out, he's gonna look back and be like, "Do you think this is going to go as planned?"
That's a good question. Has Sirius ever had any interactions with gangs?
Not that I know of. Well,
Excuse me, as I metagaming pigeon. Excuse me, sir.
excuse me. Other than like,
We took out a whole ass gang together.
sure, yeah, the bandits. Okay, yeah, okay, yeah. Lance will be like, yeah. There was this one time we fought a number of bandits. If you want to consider that the gang, yeah, I'd consider that a gang. So I'd say he has experience.
I would not, and I would also say more experience with talking than specifically fighting, since he's going to be trying to interact with them.
I think he has a lot of experience with talking. So I can.
I think it's a little different than talking to the hoity-toity people.
Do you want to talk to them?
Not particularly. I think that might be as much of a hindrance for him as his accent.
Well, I do.
My thoughts.
I have faith in him. I think he's our best shot. And whatever happens, I can't help him in the accent and and the speaking, but I will be there to back him up.
Yeah, I think that's about all that we can do at this point. Hopefully it just doesn't tip him off.
May I ask, if this is not out of place, is there a reason? Do you not like Sirius?
It makes you think that.
Lance is gonna look around like, it. When you interact, it kind of sounds like you don't like him, and I may not be the smartest, but I feel like don't know.
You can find someone annoying and not hate them.
I guess that's true. I don't think he's annoying.
Well, we have a difference in opinion there.
I guess that's true.
He's very uppity and talkative.
I think he's been really nice to me, and I think I really appreciate his company. He's kind of cool. I think yeah, I don't know. Hopefully you can see him as cool too eventually. But I think you'll warm up to him in time. He's a good guy.
Perhaps. Well, we'll see about that.
I think that's all I have.
What I had was actually incorporated into that conversation. So
Go ahead.
Incredible.
We've run out of lines on our script, everybody. Sorry, the episode's over.
All right, we'll be back next week or not.
okay. This is what, yeah, you end with the least talkative characters.
Amazing. So, as the sun begins to rise over the foothills, birds in the forest in the foothills begin their morning song, and it's time to wake up.
Do we roll perceptions?
Oh, yeah. I guess so.
I mean, if nothing happens, nothing happens. It's cool, Riley.
That's true.
Maybe something
Why
happens
did
and you don't
say
see
that?
it.
You just had
I
no
see
chance.
y'all.
You didn't even
Crazy.
ask y'all because you didn't see it.
Go ahead. One or both of you can roll.
I think you have the best perception, so you want to roll with advantage?
I shout.
Yeah.
With an 18, Lance, you see a bit away, but definitely some figures moving kind of up and over a foothill that'll probably be here in about an hour or two.
Towards us.
Yeah.
If we can see them, they can see us.
Not necessarily.
But it's safe to assume.
They have line of sight, physically at least, yes. Whether or not they can see you is...
Lance is going to, slowly back up and be like... he's going to back up and get closer to Calesta and be kind of point in that direction. And be like, do you see that?
Yeah.
Is that them? They're early.
What can I try to make them out or what?
With an 18, it's real hard to see exactly how many who sizes and stuff, but you can definitely see there are figures, multiple, and they're moving towards you.
Okay, well, he's like, I don't
slowly.
Think
they're going to be here in probably close to 2 hours.
An hour or two. Okay, well, Lance is like, I don't know if it's them or not, but it's better to be safe than sorry. And he jogs over and opens a tent, and he's like, everybody's time to wake up.
Early morning.
We have some guests coming towards us that will probably be here in about an hour or two, and I don't know if it's our special guests, but I'd rather be prepared than to be caught off guard.
Didn't we say? Aren't they?
And Lance has already taken down the tent while Sirius is still laying there. It's just
What is
undoing it underneath him, undoing
Yeah.
the tent around him.
yeah,
Kinda
lifts him up a
pulls
little bit and put him back down. To,
Okay.
Just like a magician doing one of those
The
rotating
Okay, I'm in the air now. Okay.
Yeah, Calesta's helping pack up the rest of the camp and stuff.
Just make sure you put it back in the bag.
I understand.
Okay, so I guess I need to look like Dirk. Can someone help me look like Dirk?
That's it.
Do you have some?
Love the twin uhs.
You got some magic that's gonna do that, or
I
we're
have
doing this the good old fashioned way?
I think that we should do this the good old fashioned way. I think that with sort of a deft touch, we can use all of the sort of materials and things that the Dirk has to make me look like Dirk. So this is really out of character. This is me asking whoever's got the highest dex to paint me like one of your French girls, and I will give the help action.
Liz is going to pull out a disguise kit.
Did you go in my bag again?
No.
Okay.
And like a musical theater girl.
Let me sit down.
And just Miss Felia just like almost straddling him to do his makeup and change his hair or whatever.
Cool. So
Make him look like
Liz, go ahead and make a dexterity ability check. I think you can do this with your thieves' tools actually, or your thieves' tools, your disguise kit in your inventory. Do a disguise kit roll using your dexterity.
Disguise kit, use disguise kit using dexterity. And then am I rolling this at advantage because Sirius is
I am doing my best to sort of work with her as far as where my head is going, and
Is that how that works?
I don't know.
Sirius, go ahead and roll just a straight dexterity check.
Cool. My dexterity's a +0. What could possibly
He's an
go
artist,
wrong?
maybe.
Dexterity ability check. Normal. That's a dead 4.
It's a straight roll.
Okay. It's gonna be good, guys.
Does anybody else want to try and help Liz? LOL.
Anyone else have some ways to buff?
Can I help? Go ahead. You got it.
I was gonna say I don't know if it will help at all, but I guess Calesta has some artsy stuff. Since she has proficiency with potter's tools and calligrapher stuff, so she has some artsy stuff, not makeup specifically. I don't know if that helps.
Eyeliner is basically just calligraphy on your face.
I have never tried to do calligraphy on someone's face.
What's the ruling, DM?
So I'm not sure.
I will say the DC is getting higher for every person who attempts to help after a failure. The DC to help is getting higher.
Okay.
The only go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was like, Wellen was just gonna try and maybe recite off some details about his a scar he has and the shape of his nose. I don't know if there's a way I can turn this into a not a dexterity check to help.
Sure, do an intelligence check.
No, you made it worse for me. That's crazy.
As soon as you were what he looked like, I was like, fuck, that's intelligence. Let's see what happens.
It's not going to be enough, unfortunately.
Wait, you did say after every person that helped it goes
higher.
up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I was gonna say because my dex is higher.
Can I do a backflip to support?
I mean, it's not going to help, but if you want to just do a backflip to support, nothing's stopping you, dog.
Why not? We're sweet cheerleaders. But because it doesn't technically hurt Liz's roll if we roll to try to help, right? Add the DC.
Oh Lord.
Okay.
All right, Zoe.
Well, do you want me to roll for dex?
What are you describe to me what you're doing in character to help?
In character to help, I guess that Calesta could kind of help maybe with some detailing with lines, because she also with Potter's tools you would have different sculpting, engraving. So just kind of like more of the fine details of like the makeup, not necessarily like proficient with like makeup itself, but like figuring out how to do those things and make like subtle things like hair, little stuff like that.
Yeah, that can be a dexterity ability check.
Play it.
Oh, you're good at Dex, right?
You got this. Yeah, you're a Dexy character.
Not
It's not
today.
gonna do
though.
it.
Not today. Oh well.
All right. So
He
am I
does
going to paint
nothing.
this man's face?
Yep. Go ahead.
Go for it.
Okay, so disguise kit tool check with dexterity as the ability modifier.
That's
You
right.
got it, Liz.
Here we
Cool.
go.
Ooh, well,
It's not bad.
Yeah, you get a decent approximation. We'll see exactly how far that gets you later.
Well, all right then.
we should. We all take a
I
step
should've
back to
backflipped.
look at him and like, maybe we should have them talk across the river. Just,
It kind of gets to that
No.
point, if Zoe and Kyra might be familiar with this, where you're trying to get your makeup right, but then you have too much makeup on your face, and it's just like the layers are looking just a little bit off.
I'm imagining it like how every single time that I do my eyeliner, where like this one's a little bit like higher than this one, and so I make this one a little higher, and then this one's like too far out
Are they
this
those
way, so I
too
have to
big?
make this one more out, and it just kind of
Exactly.
like gets slowly
This is a
more
relatable
dramatic
experience
and
for
like
you guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
progressively Amy Winehouse-esque.
Yes, we soon just have it like all the way out to like our hairline.
Same, yeah.
You know, you can't really help.
It happens.
Yeah, it happens
To
to the best of us.
us.
I've done
Yeah.
that to my beard before.
I'm used to.
With
To-
eyeliner?
No, not that, but the concept of I'm trimming my beard,
Oh.
trimming
a
the
little
beard.
bit, and then eventually I'm just like, I gotta get rid of it now.
I was like, does this man draw on a beard every day?
It's not real.
Yeah,
It's
this is
just
actually
Aison's
not
really
real.
good with like an eyebrow. Like,
Yeah.
It looks very
mean,
I
realistic.
need
to know.
I'm
I'm about to
impressed.
say the pencil work is
What products you use?
No, I
bro?
feel he's definitely using like the mascara, like extender fibers.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. This is tangent. I'm pulling us back in to the game.
You know, maybe if we were meeting at night, it would help.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if they're headed this way,
We don't know if it's them.
yeah, we don't know if it's them, and we don't have to particularly meet them right now. We could wait until it's dark. So
I mean,
it's dark right now, isn't it? Like, isn't it
No,
still
it's-
middle and
Early morning.
it's like early
Okay.
It's
morning.
early morning.
I mean,
Getting brighter and brighter.
if I think it makes sense for maybe Dirk to arrive at the scheduled time, but I think if we're trying to be set up, it makes sense for us to set up before they get here rather than to try and find some place to be when they're already here and looking.
That's true. So
So if y'all maybe want to kind of like walk down a little ways and then can kind of, as it gets closer to, as the sun's heading down, maybe come back up, and then Calesta and I will just have a real boring day sitting there trying to stay hidden. That also feels like a long time for us to try to stay hidden, though.
you know what?
How about if you want, you can try to run up and see who is coming.
That's true. Or if
I guess they don't know our faces, so if someone.
But you're also like
no.
super sneaky.
how long am I?
So-
Can I stay at Wolf? It's
You
You want to go be a wolf near some werewolves?
I mean, it'll probably be a little
But they
bit.
try talking to him.
I mean, yeah,
Brother, it is us.
we could kind of. You said they're like 2 hours away.
Aison, you can stay in a
For
beast
1
shape
hour.
for a number of hours equal to half your druid level rounded down.
Yeah, so 1 hour.
okay, so that's not a great move.
I mean, we could kind of like pretend to be walking in that direction and kind of cross paths with them maybe and see, just kind of check them out. But
I
then
don't
we'd
know how
have to
you get
double
that
back and
information
get
back to
back
us.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going
I
to do a whole
think
lot to help.
I think our best move might just be to meet them where they are, and I'll say something like, made better time than
Than
we had initially
expected.
anticipated. Yeah.
All right.
All right.
So
Okay.
what are you guys doing?
So, as dark Danimarked as I can be, me and Lance and Wellen, once he transforms, I assume are going to go try and meet them as they approach us.
Should
I think
Wellen wait to
we-
transform?
I was gonna say,
Yeah,
I think we still meet them at the spot that is designated. I don't think we
Okay.
head towards them, because this is where the established meeting point is.
Yeah.
So I think we just give them the 2 hours to get there, and then Dirk just happened to get there early too,
Yeah. Okay. So yeah,
and just
we'll wait probably about an hour and a half, and then I assume the trio of us will take the about half-hour trip down the hill, and then as soon as we get to the base of the hill, before we're like within eyesight of the peoples, we'll let Wellen, if you want to transform, then that's probably the best idea.
Yeah, I want to maximize that time. I don't know how long these talks are gonna go.
That makes sense.
And
I feel like also me and Liz should head out probably an hour before, find the best place to stake out.
Yeah, maybe hide out in a tree or in a big bush or something.
Yeah. So why don't, for the sake of time, Zoe and Kyra, go ahead and pop your token where you're hiding out. The terrain is as it is seen on this map, and make your stealth checks for me.
So we think they're coming from the upper left of the map, right?
Yes.
That's kind of okay.
Yeah, what's the direction
So-
they saw them in?
Yeah, upper left.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So
Um,
maybe if one of us wants to be behind the boulder over there, because we said that we think that they meet between the 3 rocks. So maybe one of us can be kind of like behind the boulder, and then one of us in those bushes over there.
Do we
And
think
that way
they meet
we'll-
on this side of the river?
That is the
that's
middle
true.
of the triangle, is on the left side of the river.
So yeah, maybe like behind the boulder over here, like that square, and then in this little divot, maybe.
Maybe if we have one on, well, they're going to be coming down, but since they're coming from the north, I wouldn't want us to be like on that side. So I was saying if we had one on either side of where we think that they're going to be speaking.
We could go behind, we could go one of us behind this rock and still do one of us behind this rock, because Liz has a way to get across the river. Like, she can just do it, because I have Misty Step, so I can just get there without having to like make a check or whatever. So if you want to put me on the other side of the river to be able to see, and also just I feel like it's maybe good to just make sure that they're not trying to like have anybody go up and around that hill that we wouldn't catch them. Maybe
that makes sense.
Okay. So,
so
Liz will go over there, and Sneaky Boy behind the rock.
And to be clear, Riley, did we get a full long rest?
Yes, you did.
Awesome. Spells are back.
I get all my spells back. Let's go.
You're spelly boys.
Are these trees taller than these boulders?
No, they're not trees so much as they are like
these are
thick
bushes.
bushes.
Okay. I'm trying to, because I feel like this boulder is too in plain view, and I feel like this might be too close to where they're talking.
Yeah, I mean, I think either like this
So
square
perhaps,
behind the rock or in this little divot of trees back here. Big bushes.
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe this bush here, so it's still close enough to like where they'll probably be meeting, but not like visible, because if they walk around this boulder, they would see me.
Shadows will be
So.
cast to the left of things right now, right? Does the sun on Tal'Dorei work the same way our sun? Oh, are there two suns?
There's 2 moons. Not
Two
two suns.
moons.
So just the one sun. Okay.
There's no sun. What are y'all talking about?
Y'all have a son?
Sun?
Yeah, shadows should be falling to the left of the cliff faces. So if you hid back in like that divot back there, you might get a little bit of
Yeah.
nice natural cover.
Awesome. Can I get stealth checks from the both of you, please?
Just straight stealth.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Jesus, I'm pulling
Oh
like
my
garbage.
God. That's so unfortunate, Zoe.
All right.
Oh, no.
At least you're the one across the river.
It's true.
All right. And the 3 of you, eventually the time comes for you to make your way down and around. So Aison, when you transform, if you actually open up your wild shapes folder and drag whichever wild shape you are using.
I can't do that.
Oh, you can't. You're using the wolf form?
Yeah.
Wonderful. And I will do it.
Thank you. Yeah. Gang.
So we got Wellen in his little wolf form here, and the 2 guys all waiting. And you both, all of you, sort of see as you make your way, your sort of hearts. What?
Nothing.
You good? Is there anything else you'd like to do?
No, I was gonna say Lance. Lance like looks at him in wolf form, and he's like, "Can I pet you?"
You see Wellen do the like look forward, like he's looking at the camera, like just like stare off for a second, and then look back at him and just kind of like wag his tail a little bit.
But
Go ahead. Just as when these people see you, you have to be like super tough and stoic. Okay.
Tough and stoic.
Yes. Act like a giant brick wall, like the meanest, toughest person you know.
Okay. All right. I'll do that.
All right. And as you all are sitting there, Lance is putting on his stoic face. You see these 2 figures make their way out of sort of the haze and around this corner. One is this taller, younger than expected looking elven man with blonde hair sort of half pulled into a bun on the top of his head with this very large nose. He's accompanied by a halfling woman with this sort of dirty, matted brown hair and big ears, who kind of has a tattoo of a diamond in the center of her forehead. And they're gonna, as they approach and walk towards the party, that is where we were gonna end our session.
Valid. That's valid. I respect it.
You got me stressed. I'm stressed.
I feel like
Thank you all
swing.
so much for joining us tonight for session 6 of Power Word Play here on Channel Divinity. We will be live next on August 14th at our usual time and place, so we look forward to seeing you then. And Sean, you want to tell us who we're going to go check out after this?
Sure. We are rating.
Just kind of lob that one right over to you.
Yep, it's fine. Let me go ahead and scroll through our
gotta get the raid ready.
I don't know how to pronounce this name, but it's Faerin Celeste, I believe, is who we're rating.
I don't know how to pronounce this name. It just says it.
I mean, I had to give it my best shot, but unfortunately, they're not online anymore.
Oh no! Okay, we'll do a quick.
So you know
zone.
what?
Or actually,
How about
if you
we
guys
just...
want to, I'm going to lob this over to my players. We're going to go ahead and sign off, but we will be in our Discord, in our voice channel over there. If you want to come and join us, chat about the session, hang out a little bit. I don't know if we can channel our Nightbot link for our friends who aren't
We
necessarily
just
over
did.
there with us. So we will talk to you guys real soon. We'll be there in probably about 5 minutes or so, give everybody a chance to get some water, all that good stuff. See you in a minute.
Coolio. Bye bye.